Alright, welcome back YouTube. So we got two more reveals to do. These ones already came out. And we're just we're gonna reveal these six real fast. Give my opinion on all of them. And I'm kind of excited for these. I like the Warlock cards here that we see. First one up, Trog Gym Tosser. 3 mana, 3/2, finale, deal 1 damage to a random enemy for each of your mana crystals. Well, the first thing I immediately recognize with it, it's not a battle cry, it's finale effect, so if you don't finale this does nothing. It's a 3 mana 3/2, which I think is kind of weird. I guess if I think about other finale effects, it's like kind of the same thing. But this one, it's cool because in wild this could deal potentially 20 damage, and you could do some crazy combos and deal 40 with it. But in standard, you're only really capped at 10, and it's randomly picked too. It's not, you can't pick where the damage goes, so that kind of already is a little bit off-putting to me. I just don't see either Druid or Warlock really running these. Running this card at least. I think each deck or each class has its style of play right now, and this doesn't really fit into either of those. This might see play in maybe magically a Highlander list as just a potential board clear if you just happen to have enough 3 mana left over and you could clear some stuff. Maybe it's not completely bad there. But aside from that, I think this is gonna be like a wild card. I think this is gonna be like a meme style type card for those types of strange OTKs that you get off once every 10 games or whatever it may be. But it's kind of interesting. Gloomstone Guardians, 4 mana, 6/8, which for that mana and those stats, it's actually really insane. Forge, so it's taunt, choose one, discard 2 cards, or destroy one of your mana crystals. Forge, do neither. This is not bad. If this is in your starting hand, you forge on turn 2, turn 4, you drop this down, you don't do anything. It's just a 4 mana 6/8, a taunt, and then on top of that, with if you really think about it, Fortune Fiend or whatever, the location for Warlock, if you place on 3, so use Forge on 2, play location on 3, place on 4, you get 2 6/8 taunt. Actually, I don't remember if, no, you don't get taunt on the copy from the location, but that's crazy. And this might replace Anubiseth. It might not, because this has taunt. And honestly, you might not be too upset discarding 2 cards and or destroy one of your mana crystals. So you discard 2 or destroy 1 mana crystal. I mean, with ramping with Druid, this might not be too bad to pick this, but with Warlock, I'd see you probably discarding 2 cards. There are some discard stuff in standard, I think. There's not very much, but this might see, if Twist was the thing with the whole Twist, discard Warlock. This card, if this got shown a lot earlier and that was still in the that was still a meta, or Twist was still a thing right now, this card would probably be really broken in that meta. But aside from that, this is probably only going to be seeing playing Warlock probably. I could definitely see it being ran in the Highlander list too, maybe. It's just a one of. It's a big body, and sometimes you might have a chance to forge it and just drop it down. It's a 6/8 taunt for 4 mana, and you're not going to be too upset with that, so it's not too bad. Crystal Cluster, 6 mana, gain 3 empty mana crystals, any that can't fit somebody 3/7 elemental with taunt. Really? Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't, what? So, if you're at 10 mana, you play this, you gain 3 empty mana crystals. No, gain 3 empty mana crystals, any that can't fit. If you're at 10 mana, you play this, you just get 3/7 elementals with taunt. But then for 6 mana, if you hit turn 6, and you just play this, you just gain 3 empty mana crystals, and you don't even summon anything up. That's kind of weird. I feel like Nurse is just a much better card. Is anyone talking about this card? Where? Yeah, people are saying Trials gonna be wild, crazy and wild. I mean, it is pretty easy to hit 10 mana with Druid. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's not too bad. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's pretty easy, turn 5 you nourish, and then you for 2 mana, or maybe have it combined or something like that, and then you play your next and your next ramp, like this could probably be seen like Dragon Druid. Like I'm trying to think how consistently you're able to actually get this secondary effect off. 6 mana for 3 Antigua Mana Crystals isn't terrible, but like Nurse is just a much more solid card, and it's, you know, last card, so it's probably gonna rain over this. That's 5 mana, this is 6 mana. This I don't know how I feel about this. I'd rate this all like in standard. This is probably a 2 or 3 star card, and wild this might be broken. This might be like a 3 or 4. And standard, like Warlock wise, this is probably a 3 star card. It's not completely broken, and you know these effects can affect you, but I don't think it's too bad forging. Like when I first saw the forge, you know, thing revealed when in the Titan set, I was like, this seems way too slow for it to work. And you know, after playing, you know, in the meta and everything like that with, you know, Titans and then Showdown in the Badlands, Forge is not a bad effect, and or you know whatever you want to call it, keyword or whatever. And I definitely think this card has potential for the, you know, you're not gonna mind forging this in play. Crystal Cluster is probably a 2 out of 5 star card. Like I don't. If you're at 10 mana, this card's kind of cool, but like they don't have any keywords on top of the taunts. I don't think it's just only taunt, so they don't have rush. They don't have any other effect, and so it's just a wall that could easily be cleared by literally any deck that could remove it. So that's kind of interesting in that sense. Okay, so these new ones here, these are some Warlock and Mage cards here. So Elementium Geo, 2 mana, 2/1. Outcry Death Battle, draw a card, deal 2 damage to your hero, and it's elemental. This one's like what? It's basically Cobalt Librarian, but for 1 more mana. But it doesn't have that Death Rattle effect, so it deals 4 damage and you draw 2 cards. For 1 guy, that's not too bad. And I mean, it's unfortunate that this is not getting put in any other deck that has more elementals like Mage or Shaman, but this is kind of cool for Warlock. This could be ran. It's a really solid tempo card. And they're going to be able to get through stuff a lot better. And I mean, with the Felstring Harp getting that buff from 2 to 1, 2 mana to 1 mana, you play Felstring Harp on 1, he plays on 2, or you know, and later in the game, you know, I don't think it's too bad. I like this card quite a bit. Yeah, there's not much to really like speak on it. I think it's just a solid card. I feel like this could fit in some other decks, like I said, but it's cool that Warlock's getting it. Up next is Soul Freeze, 1 mana Frost Spell, freeze a minion and its neighbors, deal damage to your hero equal to the number of frozen. So this has the potential to only deal 3 damage to you, and you get the freeze 3 minions, which means you could be stopping like what, potentially, you know, 10, 15 damage depending on the board size and everything like that. And the only cost is 1 mana and 3 damage potentially, maybe 2 or 1 depending on the board. That's not a bad card. I think, you know, controllers might eat this card up. Like, this is not bad. I could definitely see it being played, and it's not going to be terrible to discover it too. Especially in like certain situations, you're like, oh, I just need to stop this board from doing something, and you're able to find a Soul Freeze. It's a Frost spell, so it's probably easy to discover in Mage. I don't see, maybe Warlock could run it, but it's gonna have a harder time discovering it. I think there's not much discover effects in Warlock right now, and so, or at least specifically for like a Frost card, there might be something for Shadow that I'm not thinking of, but yeah, no, I don't think this is too bad. I think Mage will probably use this, and it's not going to be too bad. Chaos Creations, I've seen a lot of stuff, people talking about this, like, oh, Sludge Warlock is going to be more broken now. I don't think that's the case. Sludge Warlock is already, you know, hard enough to play, and it's not as consistent as people make it seem. But for 6 mana, you're dealing 6 damage, summon random 6 cost minions, or the 6 bottom cards of your deck, or the bottom 6 cards of your deck. It's very unlikely that you're going to have, you know, 6, you know, sludges at the bottom of your deck. I barely even had that happen when I was playing, and I played over 30 games with that deck, and the chances of that happening, I just feel, are very minimal. And I mean, I'm sure we could scroll down here, and yeah, these aren't, I don't know. I do think Soul Freeze is great. Yeah, I don't know what this guy thinks this is trash. It's not bad. Yeah, Geo's gonna be played in the Demon Sleed, yeah, all that stuff, yeah. Oh, that's an interesting. Chaos Creation might be fun to see in Prison of Yogg. That's actually terrifying to think about. Imagine, you know, you Yogg and the RNG card here just has to completely destroy. That card is... why did they have the Princess card? This is so bad. Getting this off Yogg, and I know for a fact this is gonna happen to me so many times. I'm gonna be so mad at Yogg. I'm gonna like I'm gonna cut it from every single deck just so I don't have the chance of this hitting off of my Yogg. But the 2 taps. Yeah, it's a good Warlock card. Yeah, I mean everything. I feel like yeah, Soul Feaster's combo decks. That's gonna be really good. Yeah, I don't think this is like Steam Cleaner is gonna be rotating, but I don't think this is gonna be enough insurance for Sludge to actually use it. I think they're just gonna rely on Thaddeus. Hope that that all works. But I don't know what I would rate it. I'm gonna rate that card a 1. This is a 1-star card. I can see it's being used though. This is a 3. This is probably a 4-star card. I definitely don't think any of this is bad. Like I think these two are pretty good. This card is just a nightmare. I don't think this card's gonna be great. I will say that the art is cool for all 3 of these, but this card sucks. I don't want to see this card at all. I might have to see and try and play it, but oh, what is this? Oh, I might have to read that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.